Yo, what up, people?
Yo, what's up, everyone? How we doing?
What up? What up?
Hello.
Shoot, is
Yeah,
it, is
so
it pouring over there, Karen? Is it raining?
Not anymore. It stopped like a few hours ago.
it
Shoot,
was raining today over here.
yeah, it was raining pretty hard.
Till now?
Um, for me, yeah, it's still raining.
Oh, okay.
Damn. What's going on, Mike?
What up, dude? How's you guys' day?
Good, stressful, but good.
Stressful. That means you're creating chaos, bro.
That's the only way. It's the good stress.
Yeah, dog. Create chaos, bro, in your life. I was listening to a Grant Cardone thing today, and he was just like, bro, if you don't have new problems, you're not taking enough action.
New problems. Yeah, I like that.
That's really what it is. If you don't have enough problems in your life to solve, you are not taking enough action. So what do you guys got today?
Um, I want to talk about how let me backtrack for everyone. So today I was going for a sign in to get a contract, right? Get a deal done. I go through the whole agreement with the seller. We talk about it. He has absolutely no questions. He's completely aware of what we're doing, what he's doing, who we are, blah blah blah. Everything's good to go. At the end of it, he hits me with the let me send it over to my lawyer, right? And then I'm like, how do I push him without getting that commission breath, right? Because I was in the back of my head when you brought it up to me, Mike. Because I don't want to feel pushy. So I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, do you not understand what's going on? Do you have any other questions? Have I done a bad job? And he's like, no, I completely understand. I just want my lawyer to check over it. And I just couldn't push him over the edge to sign today because I knew I would have sounded way too desperate if I kept pushing. So I kind of had to let him go.
Okay. Um, so there's a few different things, right? Did you go over the agreement with him?
Yeah, basically, he kind of read it himself, and I started listing off stuff as well and make sure everything was correct. I didn't go line by line. I didn't do that. I just kind of answered any questions he had while he was going over as well.
Got it. So a couple different things. To see if that's a real objection or not. Because he brought it up before you brought up the contract, right?
Yep.
To see if it's a real objection or not. What you say is you say, okay, great. Who's your attorney?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if they're stalling and they're like, and they don't give you an answer, then that means they're lying about their attorney. Or they give you a quick answer, boom, 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 whatever the attorney's name is. It's Ken down the street or whatever.
Yep.
Right? Then you say, okay, great, let's hop on the phone with them. What is he going to say to that?
I don't know. I mean, if it's fake, obviously he's gonna make up an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
If it's real, I mean, I don't know. He could say yeah. He could say no. He could say he's busy.
Okay, so if he makes up an excuse to those two things, the next thing you say, what's his name?
Lionel.
Lionel. I've been doing this business for a while now. And typically when somebody tells me that they need to look over the paperwork with their attorney, there's usually something else going on. There's usually one of three things going on. One, the seller actually just doesn't really want to sell their house. Actually, before you even say that, just say I'm actually okay with all three, with any of these three. But could you help me understand which one it is? One, either it could be the seller doesn't really need to sell their house at the moment. Two, there's something that I did a poor job of throughout this whole entire process.
Mm-hmm.
Three, The seller is really just looking for other bids from other buyers. Okay, and you call out all those three. And then you just say at the end of that, can you help me understand which one of these three it is? And you also remember to let them know I'm okay with all three of them, whichever one it is. But just help me understand so I can tell my team. And then you also, before all that stuff, in order to get the attorney objection, you got this out of the way already. Like, hey, do I have any
Yep.
do you need to run this by anybody else? And they said no, and then all of a sudden they do. Right? And obviously the attorney objection isn't really the objection. There's something else.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But what was your upfront contract with them?
This was in the very beginning of the sales call. It was, I don't want to step on anyone else's toes. Do you have anyone else that helps you make decisions? Yada yada yada. And he said his son. So he got that one out of the way. His son said, "Good to go, sell the house." That was the only one. And now he brought up this lawyer that I didn't know existed today.
Got it. So that could come like in the seller's perspective, it could come off like, hey, who's the decision makers, right? Like who's helped me make the decision on a price or something like that. And usually the seller would think, yeah, my son or my wife or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the next thing, once you start like really getting into the negotiations, hey, when I go bring this back to my team, I let them know like the number that we can lock in today, because what ends up happening, no matter when our close date is, we secure those funds so that those funds don't get put anywhere else. So before I go ahead and tell my team to do that, is there anybody that you're going to need to look over the paperwork, like an attorney or anything like that? Or are you all set? Are you ready to go today?
Okay.
And they say, oh yeah, I need to look it over with my attorney and everything like that. Then obviously you help them out with that. That's when you say, okay, great, let's get them on the phone. Okay, great. What's their name, right? So that's what you do. A lot of this stuff, right? And it just comes with reps with doing this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know. You're just going to keep going. Like I let you go today because I needed you to learn this stuff.
Yep.
Like you're getting your reps. Now you fully understand. Now it's in the back of Felipe's mind when he's on another sales call that, hey, I don't want this to happen to me again. So he's going to nip it in the bud before.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll notice really, really good salespeople, they don't come across too many objections because they handle them prior. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
They take care of everything before because they've been in the game. Right? It would be like an athlete getting ready for a football game or something like that. They make sure that they stretch and they make sure they study the game. They make sure that, they're ready so that when somebody blitzes or something, they already know what to do. Like the quarterback is studying the defense and he's stretching and he's preparing for the game and he knows because he's been there before, so that when a linebacker comes and blitzes, he's able to move one way or get the ball off quick because he knows it's coming. That just comes with experience. You're going to get that over time. But it's important that you go get these reps. It's just what I was talking about in the beginning. Like you're not taking enough action unless you're coming across these problems. So it's really good. And now you have something to solve, Not saying that you're out of the sale, that you didn't get the sale. Maybe he is looking over with his attorney. But now you know how you can go into the next call with those three things.
Okay.
But yeah, does that help?
Yeah, that definitely does help. It's definitely, I like how you said I have to go through it to learn it because I don't want it to happen again. So if I already know how it feels like, I'm like, yo, hell nah, let's get this shit out of the way now.
Mm-hmm.
When I sign this contract, I want it to be done today. And I guess I got to set up that expectation with the seller.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But now next time, like while you're on a sales call, is going to be something that you make sure that it doesn't happen. Just like we have a seller trying to back out of an agreement right now. there are things that I could have done in the appointment to make sure that this didn't happen. Right. So now we're like trying to figure it out with her. And it's not good for either parties, honestly. And it's something that me as a salesperson, when I went on the appointment, that I could have prevented. But now I know going in all these appointments, that's something that I'll never let happen again. So yeah, you're right. It is super important that you go through it and you just get your reps and all that, because now it's something in the future that you'll be able to nip in the bud. But good job, bro. I mean, it's a deal. Like I said, you're not out of the sale just yet. You can go in there and say those 3 things and figure out what the real objection is.
Yeah.
Sometimes, remember in the Sandler submarine, right? There's compartments that you got to fill up. Sometimes you get all the way to the end and realize that one of the compartments isn't filled up. So you got to go back and fill that compartment up. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And this compartment that you're trying to fill up is the upfront contract. Granted, we have one in the beginning of the call, and it makes sense. Like, yeah, I said, is there anybody else? I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Is there anybody else that you got to talk to or anything like that? Yeah, that's cool. But that was probably on the very first call, right?
Yeah, it was.
As you're just like information gathering, fact finding,
Yep.
getting the wants and needs and everything like that. Then all of a sudden it starts to get real. So you got to go back and fill that cup, because maybe the cup was only filled up with that first upfront contract. It was only filled up to here.
Yep.
Right. But really, you needed to fill it up to here in order to get the sale. But that's fine. Like I said, the Sandler submarine didn't go away. It didn't just disappear. It's still there. You just got to go back and fill up the compartment. But good job, bro. I'll give him a call tomorrow and just check in and see how it is.
Yeah, I set up the expectation to see if I can get an answer tomorrow. So like, he said he's gonna give me an answer tomorrow, yes or no. So I'm just waiting.
Yeah. So 2 things I would do is say the 3 things I just said. Right? Like, hey, check in with the attorney. Hey, how did it go with the attorney? Okay. And if he's still bullshitting, then you bring up those 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you also let him know, like, hey, for us, you kind of pull back a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you did a good job of today not getting the commission breath. You pull back a little bit. Hey, for us, we're buying a few of these things a week. So it's important that when we have contracts out, we know whether or not they're actual deals for us. The reason being is because every time we get a contract, we set aside funds for that. So when there's contracts out that we don't know what's happening with, like we don't know whether or not we're going to come to an agreement or not, these funds that we lock up, they're getting put other places because we have people to help.
Yep.
Right. We're buying houses all the time, and it would be irresponsible for us to have a contract out and lock up the funds at the same time, because what's happened in the past is we've sent out a contract, seller said that they were going to sign it and all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, we didn't get anywhere with the seller and we missed out on helping another family. So I am cool with a no worries. And this is you pulling back. I'm cool with a no. I'm cool with a yes. Actually, here it is. I'd be happy with a yes if this is what you want to do. I'd actually be even cooler with a no, because then I know I know what other families I have to go help.
Yep.
The thing I can't have is a maybe, because then that leaves us in limbo and we're like dealing with a bunch of other sellers, and it's just like we don't know where our funds are being allocated. So check in with the attorney, say the 3 things, say that we have funds to be allocated to other places, and then pull away.
Okay.
And then you could say something like, if we have to, what we'll do is we'll just put your file aside for now. Hopefully our funds are still there in the next week or so once you got this thing figured out. But if he gets to the point where he's just like, yeah, I don't really know, I'm still waiting, then just say that, hey, I'm gonna put your file aside for now. Hopefully by the time we revisit this, the funds are still there to do everything, but we'll put everything on pause for now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Karen, what's going on in your world?
Right now, I think I'm done going over with the leads in Podio. I had the system wherein I filtered all the leads according to the most in order with the last time it was called.
Mhm.
So pretty much I'm already in the on those leads that have been called pretty recently. So right now I think I'm going to the system twice this time with recently,
Mhm.
and I think that's much about it as of right now.
All right, cool. Do you need any help with any sellers?
I had a conversation with the seller today. I know it's not a hot lead. It's more like a retail seller, something like that. And he still has a lot of um options on his plate on what to do with his house. And I personally think that his best bet is to have it listed in the market with the realtor. But I have a question though, like I know I am dealing with as of right now I'm dealing with cash deals
Mm-hmm.
type of leads. So for sellers like this, my question is how do I know that it's not something I could tee it up for Felipe or for you as um to pitch them with other options that we could provide in buying their houses so I
Yeah.
could set them aside.
Great question. So for now, even on Felipe's end, whenever there's an opportunity that you feel like, hey, there probably is something that we can provide to them. Maybe it's sub two or seller finance or something like that. You plant the seed. You don't have to go down the rabbit hole of like pitching terms and all that stuff. You just plant the seed to see if they're interested. Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
we're just kind of, I don't know if we're going to come to an agreement here. I could see maybe one option working where we pay you over time. Would you consider something like that if we got you your price? And if they say yes, then that's a lead that you just kick over to me. And then you just say something like, "Okay, great. Mike is the guy, the creative finance guy in our business. He's the one that deals with all that. So I'm gonna push this over to him. He'll give you a call tomorrow to see what other options we can give you."
Okay, got
So
it.
all those ones that you have a feeling like, hey, there could be some creative finance. That's what you do. You plant the seed. You don't have to go down the rabbit hole of doing it. I'll do that, but just plant the seed and tee up the call for me,
Okay,
and then you can just push the lead over to me. Good
got it.
freaking question, Felipe. Do you need help with any sellers?
Not too bad. I'm doing pretty well, honestly, with my sellers and my questions. Not too many. Honestly, I'm good, to be honest.
Love it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess your teachings are actually working because my questions get smaller and smaller.
Love it. Well, I'm gonna call the seller right now.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice. call has been forwarded to an auto.
I had a call with that guy at 5, so maybe he'll call back. But all right, cool. Did you guys learn anything today with Daryl?
It got pushed back to 5, so it
Okay,
hasn't even started yet.
love it. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
How about let's talk about what happened with this deal, bro?
Mm-hmm. With the one we just talked about?
The one that we sold over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
Like, how? Let's talk about that. Just to give
I'd love to talk about that.
just to give everybody a background story.
Okay.
We sold the deal this week to another buyer for a really big assignment fee, and I'll let Felipe kind of give the details of what happened with the lead.
Yeah, so going from all the way to step 1 was I found this lead hiding in our system, right? So wasn't on my follow-ups, wasn't on my radar. It was just stuffed in the pile of leads. This was when we used Podio, so we didn't have too much of a good eye on everything. So what I used to do when I was on following up, and I just literally go one by one and see if anything was, we didn't have too much information on, or we just skipped any by accident. So until this lead popped up, and I was seeing the numbers and the asking price, and I was like, this is pretty close to this is pretty much a deal already in the notes. I don't know why it's not up to me yet, or Mike doesn't know about it. So I give him a call, and it turns into a follow-up because they're in the hospital. A follow-up in 2 weeks, and they're ready to go. Like, they're hot. They're really hot. So I'm like, well, we should probably just close now. Let's get this thing done. But I didn't close it the day of, right? I was kind of weary on my numbers still. I wanted to get Mike's approval first. So 2 hours go by, we're on the live, and he tells me that it's a great deal. You should just close it tomorrow. And I was like, let me just close it right now. Let me just call him. So I call them, and then they're ready to go. We close at 195. And if I remember, ARV was 400, Mike. Was that right? Or was it 300?
It's about 400.
400, yeah. So ARV was
425.
400. So we got it sight unseen. We'll put a contingency there so we can go out there, take a look, make sure everything's not falling apart. 2 hours go by, and the seller gets another call from a wholesaler saying that they'll buy their house cash, $200K, sight unseen, yada, yada, yada. And she couldn't sell it because she was already under agreement with us. And that's just to show that it showed me, actually taught me a lesson that I can't keep waiting for them to be ready. I have to just call them and make sure they're ready and get them to get ready. Because if I waited, 100% we lost that deal. 100%. If I waited just 2 hours, and I was going to call them the next day, I was supposed to.
That's crazy. It's shit. You know what it comes down to, bro? It boils down to drive.
Mm-hmm.
Like that day, I remember. Actually, we locked it up on the live, and I remember you saying like, "Yeah, I gotta go, but you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna call her."
Yeah.
Like I told you, like, all right, bro, I'm gonna give you a call tomorrow once after you locked it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, Felipe was like, "All right, I'm gonna call her right now."
Yeah.
Wow, he didn't really have time to call her, but it was a hot lead. Like, bro, these hot leads you got to jump on.
Yeah. And what was crazy
That was like a PPC lead, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, it was really ready to go. I was literally right. I was just supposed to hang up on the live and then go straight to New Jersey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my girl was literally in the room waiting for me to get off the live. She's already packed and ready. And I'm like, fuck, I got to get this deal. Like, I can drive. I can get there a little later, but this deal ain't going to wait for me.
Legit.
So that's why I called.
Yeah, bro. And I'm looking at the notes from Podio right here. We generated this lead back in May, the beginning of May. So May 4th is when we generated the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then we didn't follow up with them for 2 months. So this is why it's so important that we cut their time in half. So here are the notes. Spoke to Virginia, says she can't sell. Husband's been in the hospital since September. Said to call back in a month or two. Next call, say that we have bought houses with an owner. would not need to go over the house. Next time we called was 2 months. So we listened to the seller here. We listened to the seller say, yeah, give me a call in a month or two. What should have went off in our mind is not the 1 month, right? She said a month or two. So 1 or 2 months. So let's look at the first option. She said, call me back in a month, and we're going to cut that in half. So every time we're doing follow-ups, so for you guys, Karen and Felipe, when you guys are on follow-ups, ask the seller, okay, yeah, I understand you're not too ready at the moment. When should I give you a call back? And if they say a month, you cut it in half and call them back in 2 weeks. If they say 2 months, you cut it in half and call back in a month. If they say a week, you cut it in half and call them back in 3 days. Right? And you got to stay on these people, because these people, they probably could have sold earlier. And then I see we did a good job here. So it looks like so 2 months later, we gave the seller a call, and the seller said nothing has changed. That they couldn't do anything. Then I don't know if it was probably Felipe just like searching through the system. Felipe calls that a week later and they said the same thing. They want to sell by the end of the month. Actually, now it changed. So it wasn't the same thing. They want to sell by the end of the month. This is back in July. Then Felipe calls her at the end of the month. Right? And that's when we ended up locking it up. But what should have happened here is, instead of when they said, hey, give me a call back by the end of the month, which was 2 weeks away, we should have called them back in a week.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
So from now on, every time a seller says, give me a call back in a certain amount of time, you cut that in half. Shit. It's, with a lead like this, even more. This is something that I'd be following up with all the freaking time. And you don't have to go into the follow-up like, hey, just checking in to see how you're doing, right? Like, go in creatively. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, go in, hey, we just fell out of contract with a house not too far from yours, actually. We're just trying to see if, like, where you were at. Sometimes if I want an appointment, I'll call a seller who wasn't that ready, and I'll tell them, hey, I actually have a house to go to down the street. Is there any chance that I could bang out 2 birds with 1 stone? I don't have an appointment down the street, but I need the appointment, right? Like, it's a hot lead. I know I can convert that if I go on the appointment.
Yep.
So it's just getting creative with your follow-up. Crap, you could even say things like, oh my God, sorry, I called the wrong number. Well, why I got you here? How's everything going?
Mm-hmm.
Literally any reason to follow up, just freaking follow up.
I had one today, actually. I called them and I said, hey, Fred, for the life of me, I cannot remember if I called you last week. But if I called you, I apologize. And then I just went in with what I had to say.
Dude, that's gangster shit, bro.
It's like I didn't think my head's going all over the place, but I just figured I'd call you because there's no harm in that.
Right. Hey, Fred, my bad. We've bought like 5 deals in the last week. My head's been going crazy. I don't remember if I called you last week or not.
Yep.
But I figure I'd give you a call because I don't want to leave you hanging. I love that shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's creative. That's amazing. But that's what we got to do. We got, like, literally squeeze the freaking juice out of the whole CRM. That's it. There's a shit ton of leads in the CRM. Like, there's deals after deals after deals. Karen, you've seen it. Literally. I was like, yo, Karen, go find a deal in the system. Set the appointment up and let's freaking go. 3 days, boom, she has one. Same thing with Felipe. Like, boom, he has one. That's it, yo. It's just being hungry. That's all sales is. You could absolutely stink at talking to sellers. I know freaking drug addicts doing this business. Literally. They don't know how to talk. Like, they're not good at talking to people at all. But I'll tell you, they're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're hungry, they got drive and they're freaking banging the phones, and that's all it takes. And then you'll ask somebody like, "Hey, how's your business going?" They're like, "Man, I can't find deals. I don't know what's going on." Okay, how many dials are you doing a day? Oh, I did 30 yesterday, and the day before that I did 10. The other day though, I did 50. Bro, you gotta be doing over 100 every single freaking day. Why would you not? Like, in my eyes, right? Dude, you have access to the whole entire system. There's like hundreds of thousands of dollars in our system. Literally.
Oh yeah.
And you have full reins to the whole system. Like, the sky is yours. If it was me and I was in you guys' position, I'd be freaking calling sellers for 16 hours every day. I'd be like, there's no way. Hold on. Like, I'm getting every deal. I don't care. I'm going to stress this freaking business out. Because that's all it is. It's just hungry. It's just being hungry. That's it. And both of you guys have it, which is freaking amazing. Like, Felipe, bro, you've been just hammering the phone. Same thing with you, Karen. You guys literally just been relentless, and it's showing. That's why you guys are getting deals. That's it. Like, you guys are showing up and putting the work in, and you guys are seeing it come to life, which is super dope. But enough of my rant. Do you guys have anything else you want to go over?
Give me a quick second. Yeah, man, I actually got nothing. I mean, this is crazy.
I'm trying to call that.
Let me see here.
Your call has been forwarded.
All right, cool. You said you had something?
I'm thinking of one that I remember seeing, and I didn't really even know how to. Let me see if this one has another properties interested in selling. Oh, okay. You know what? This one's for the sake of education. Let's do this. I'm going to put in the private chat the address. Where is it?
About the one in Stoughton that we were looking at.
Yeah, that one is, if you want to update on that, they're planning on doing the renovations themselves. Their budget's like over 100K. But the son, right, is the one that's like, he's like the black swan of the whole deal. He's the one pushing them to do it themselves, like, because he knows what he's doing, yada yada yada. But the son isn't giving them a rehab number yet. They're like, we don't even know how much it's gonna cost, yada yada yada. We're waiting for him to tell us, but our budget's like 100K plus. So that's when they figure out the number, I'm assuming they're gonna do it or try to do it. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of just waiting for them to figure out what they want to do.
All right, cool.
Let me see here.
What's going on with this lead that you just sent?
This lead was pushed up to me. Bro, honestly, this is one of these properties that I have no idea how much it's worth. There's freaking no comps. I don't even know what to do. I honestly don't even think it's a deal. I mean, in my book, but I figure just for sake of education, let's kind of work on it and see what we can do.
So the first thing I see is not much motivation in selling.
Yeah,
So why would this guy ever sell his house?
because he's looking for full transparency. I haven't even called him yet, so we're on the same page.
Call him, bro.
Let me see here. All right. You hear it ringing?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Scott.
Hey, Pat.
Yep.
Hey, Pat. This is Felipe. You spoke to one of my assistants in regards of selling a property in Wareham.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just the underwriter. I was wondering if you had a quick second to talk about it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I don't have too many notes here. We're looking to buy a property within the next week here. Could you tell me a little bit more about it?
Yeah. What do you want to know? Just rental income.
If you could kind of just paint me the picture, if you're going to buy the house, what would you want to know about it? You know?
Big thing is, just the rental income itself right now. I think that's what is the big deal. House is pretty solid, newer furnished, newer roof, solid. Did some work to it. Probably put about, I would say, 25 grand into it. And yeah, just one tenant's paying $3,400 a month. The other one's paying $2,500 a month. Both Section 8 properties.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you do the math, right, depending upon, if you guys are cash buyers, you're going to cash flow a decent amount. Even if you weren't a cash buyer, just looking to get into an investment property, right, at a 5.25 or 6%, you're still looking at profiting, close to a couple $1,000s a month, even after maintenance and capex is put aside.
Got it, man. Yeah, this sounds like a great investment then, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's got you even considering selling it? this cash cow.
Yeah. So I use a hard money lender, and it's great, right? If you can kind of refinance out of it. Just with duplexes and things like that right now, it's tough. It's easier to turn around and, hey, let's invest our money into single family properties. And if we sell one of our duplexes that we have, this allows us to have enough capital to turn around and, buy multiple single families, at a better price here.
Got it. So
it's great 2-for-1 with a duplex, but if, hey, I'm kind of not greedy with my money, but I don't want to use my own money, right? I want to use a hard money guy, but I want to be able to get out of it, within a 6-month period here. If not, is it really worth it?
So this hard money lender is still on the deal?
He's on one of the houses, but we have a total of 3 duplexes. So we're, negotiable here with which one we sell.
Okay,
we want to keep 2 and get rid of 1.
Well, the one I have, just to make sure we're on the same page here, the one I have right here is on Main Street?
Yes.
Are all of them on Main Street, or is it just this one?
So there's 2 on Main Street and then 1 on Galt Road, but they're all in Wareham.
Got it. Okay, so the one on Main Street, is he on that property? Which one is he on?
He's on a 394 Main, yes. This one that she was interested in.
Okay, got it. So what we have to do is get him out of there, right? So I'm assuming you want to sell it, buy him out, and then use the capital to invest in single family. That's what you said?
Yes.
Okay. Well, how much do you think you need to do all that?
I'm looking at least, it was just appraised 6 months ago. It was appraised, I believe, 625 or 650. I have to take a look. So I was looking to at least get that 625 for it, and then that would alleviate some of these things here.
Got it. 625. Have you talked to a realtor at all about putting it on the market?
Yeah, no, like we've kind of been back and forth. Again, we're not in a rush, right? Because hey, we do have the funds to make something happen. But with somebody just reaching out and saying, hey, X, Y, and Z, I was like, hey, maybe we'll see. So my real estate agent was talking about getting them on for Monday, but I said, hey, let's wait till Wednesday and see. Just because even calculating and doing the math, I ran the numbers, and we're looking at, even if it was a random person investment property, 20-25% down, at that 650 price point, they're making a pretty penny.
Got it. I mean, to be honest, I'm not even sure if I'm your buyer here, because we do a lot more fix and flips. That's our bread and butter.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I can put in the property to add more value?
I would say, yeah, you could probably redo the second floor tenants. We did some work to the bottom floor. We didn't really touch the second floor. So if you're looking at potentially putting a kitchen, right, redoing that or whatever it may be, that could definitely add some value there. We did just redo the landscaping and that, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah. But we did the first two properties we bought were duplexes. The second one was a single family. We had a bedroom, added a bath. Bought the house for $260. Just got it appraised 6 months ago. It was freaking $450, right? So we saw that and we're like, hey, this is kind of where we need to be. And then a duplex came up on the market, off market deal, and we decided to do it. Now we're like, let's do more of the single family route. So I'm right there with you.
Got it, Pat, yeah.
So if you're into fix and flips, then duplex probably, isn't for you per se.
Well, is 625 what you owe the lender?
625. No, we don't.
Okay.
We owe the lender 600. However, if hey, 25,000, that gives us something that we can work with.
Gotcha. Okay, so you owe them 600. You need, alrighty. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out a way that we could possibly do this. Honestly, I think going on the market might be our best bet, because we'd be, for an all-out cash number, we'd probably be lower than that. But I gotta run my numbers with my partners.
Yeah, talk to your people. Like I said, let me know, and then I'd say he's already got the MLS all set. We're just kind of, I was waiting on you guys.
Have you have you considered the commissions already? I think if you sold it for 625, I think you'll be under 600.
Yeah.
So you have to come out of pocket to pay the lender.
Yeah, and at the same time, if that's going to give us an opportunity to get out of this, it could be it. I want to. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. That doesn't make sense if that's the case. So.
Yeah,
hey, so like the two other duplexes, we don't. It's not with the hard money guy. Those could be negotiable, and you could probably build some equity in those definitely. I'll tell you that.
Okay. Yeah, that one. Those other two might be best. I'm not sure.
Same thing. So one of them, both tenants pay. There's $3,000 a piece. You're on the numbers there. You're looking pretty good too. It's a little less square footage. So the Main Street one's 2,700, 2,750. These are 2,300 and 2,500. The one on Galt Road, you could potentially add a bedroom to that. It is on a septic, and it does have a room where you could potentially add a window to.
Yep.
To add a bedroom.
Gotcha.
if that's something you want to.
Yeah, I like that idea, Pat. Hey, I mean, my partner, he works with low equity deals all the time. I mean, he could probably figure out something creative if you're open to that.
Yeah, we could always talk.
Yeah, can he call you tomorrow? Are you available tomorrow?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Any specific time?
No. Anytime before noon would probably be best.
Okay, so more in the morning. Alrighty.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll tell him about your situation here. I think he'll have a better grasp on what to do. And in terms of the other properties, could you just text me the addresses? I don't really have them here. I'll text you, and then if you could just text me the addresses here.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, okay. I'll set up a call with you, and his name is Mike. He'll give you a call tomorrow. All right, Pat.
Sounds good.
Awesome, brother.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.
Yep. Bye.
All right, we're good. I lost our receiver. I was like,
Oh, bro, that was a good call.
Thank you.
Can you talk about what you did on that call?
I have no idea what I did. I just wing it. No, I'm joking. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened there. So I'm trying to see if I can remember in order what I did. I figured out his situation, found out there's a hard money lender there, right? So that's kind of what I got lost. Because like, what do we do with that if there's a hard money lender on it? And then I figured he said it's appraised for $625. Okay. So how much do you need to get out of this deal, right? So I said need because I don't want to know how much he wants. I want to know how much he needs because those are two different questions. Found out that he owes $600. He wants $25K extra to get out of the deal as well. That's one part. Second part is the way I found out. Here's what's crazy. I don't know if you guys noticed the way I found out that he owed $600. I didn't even ask him. I asked him how much does he owe. Wait, what did I ask? All I remember is that I didn't say a word, and it was awkward for him. So he filled it up. He filled up the gap with, I owe $600. I remember that. And I was like, I'm just not gonna say anything.
You did a really good job, bro. You did holy shit, bro. Good job. The best thing that you did on that call, out of all the things, because you did a lot of good stuff. The best thing you did is you sounded super, super curious. And you sounded super, super into like what was going on with it. Wait, so you have a hard money lender? How much do you owe on that? Right? Like just the tone of your questions and showing the seller that you're curious about what the heck is going on. That is how you build rapport.
Yep.
You don't build rapport by talking about their freaking cats and dogs. You build rapport by caring about their situation and gathering their situation. That's how you build rapport. So freaking good job, bro. Essentially what can happen with this deal, because there's absolutely no equity. A lot of people might think, hey, maybe we take this thing down sub 2. But what's wrong with that?
I'm not sure because that's what I was thinking as well. Can we not pay off the hard money lenders over time?
Well, a hard money lender, the way that they work is it's interest-only payments. So it wouldn't make too much sense to buy a property subject to just interest-only payments because then you don't get mortgage pay down, right? And that's the point of buying a deal. So taking it over sub 2 isn't the best option. Plus, usually hard money loans are typically like a year long. So they'll be due in about a year. So it doesn't make any sense to go down that road.
Yep.
Now, there's two things that I'm thinking about. You could either have him go get a refinance loan. So we could refer him to one of our commercial lenders, right? And that commercial lender is going to give him money based on the asset, and then we'll take the property back sub 2, right? But I don't think the commercial lender would cash him out enough because typically they're only lending up to, depending on what the property's worth. If it's going to appraise at 6, did he say it appraised at 625?
Yeah, which I don't even know if that's valid, like true, man, to be honest.
Well, he'll have the official appraisal paperwork and we'll ask for that. But 625 if it appraised at that. He would probably only get somewhere around like 460 something in the form of a refinance loan, and then somehow he would have to come up with the rest of the equity. Which for us, if we had to cash him out of that, it wouldn't make too much sense as far as a return on our investment, because if he got a refinance loan and let's just call it 470. At 470, that means to close it out, would have to come up with $155,000 in cash, and that doesn't make too much sense. So what we can do is a Morby method deal, where we bring a lender in ourselves. Does that make sense?
Well, what I'm confused is he told me he couldn't refinance it.
Yeah, because he doesn't have enough equity.
Oh, okay.
Let me think about this. Yeah, we could do that. So what you can do is you can bring the same type of lender, a non-recourse commercial lender, into the deal at 70%, and then bring a private lender in to satisfy the loan at 30%. At close, no, that wouldn't work. Yeah, that wouldn't work because we wouldn't be able to pay off the private money lender. Let me think about this. I got to think about this one.
Let it marinate. Let it marinate.
We got to figure out when his hard money loan is due.
Yeah, I passed it over to you, so it should be there tomorrow morning.
But he said that he would be willing to come out of pocket, right?
Yeah, that's what he said. If you went on the market. That's what's crazy, because like nothing's selling in that range at all. So that's what got me all confused.
He just probably bought a really bad deal.
That's what I'm thinking. Because everything's selling, like every duplex in the area is selling for like the 400s.
Okay, shoot it over to me. I'm going to think about this, because I was thinking Morby method, but then I realized in a Morby method, you'd have to pay back the private money lender, and the hard money lender would take all the equity, and you wouldn't be able to pay the private lender back.
Nope.
So you couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think about this a little bit. But push it over to me. I'll give him a call.
Yeah,
I'll also ask him about all the other properties he got.
Yep.
Cool, bro. Good stuff today, guys. Felipe, that was a really good call. Like, it shows that you've been putting in your reps. You've been listening to calls. You've been taking action in Daryl's sales training. Like, that was high level. Karen, did you learn a lot from that?
Yeah, a lot.
So good. Karen, I'll go back and listen to this live again, because Felipe did a lot of good stuff on that call. Good job, bro.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, people. If you want killers like Felipe and Karen and myself to call your leads, maybe you don't have time to call the leads. Maybe you're just like, yo, that's not for me. I don't want to talk to sellers. It's not my thing. I just like generating the leads. If that's you, then go to silverhomies.com, submit a lead. You'll end up in our CRM. You'll see all the follow-ups. You'll hear the calls. You'll hear people getting closed. You'll hear all the things. And we could do deals together. We'll follow up. We'll close it. We'll dispo it. We'll do all the things. Smooth, easy transaction for you. So silverhomies.com if you have any leads. Also, like and subscribe to the page. Like the video, subscribe to the page. I know there are a lot of people that watch this. I look at my views sometimes and I'm like, I have a feeling that all these people are not subscribed. So why are you watching? You're not subscribing, yo.
They calling you out, man.
All right, people. All love. Peace.
Peace.